The CatStrand was for 100 years the primary school for New Galloway. In 1964 a new primary school was built, but in 2001 a local committee got together and bought it and set about to turn it into a community arts centre to serve the Glen Kens area. Throughout the planning and the building, the main objective was to have a building that was modern but was very energy efficient. The insulation is second to none, and we then had to consider how were we going to heat it, to provide the energy. We looked at solar panels, heat exchange from the ground, but we didn't have a big enough area for that. Wind power, we wouldn't have been very popular, I don't think, with a large windmill in the middle of the town. So we went for wood pellets. We then discovered that to get a wood pellet boiler of the size that we required, we needed to go to Austria. We found a very good supplier there, Kobe, and then we needed the pellets to fire it up. And at that time, this is a year ago, the only sources were in Norway and Sweden. Since then, Northern Ireland and the ex-Alcan aluminium smelter are beginning to produce them far nearer to home. So hopefully, as electricity and oil prices rise, pellet prices will stabilise and even reduce. That is our hope. Wood pellets take up far less space in the hopper, which obviously one needs, and they are more easily augured. Because of the noise and the proximity to the auditorium, we didn't want the hopper to be right next to the boiler, and so we opted for the pellets, which could be stored in a relatively small space and then augured the 15 metres into the boiler. It has been up and running since last October. Obviously, it uses more in midwinter than it does in the summer. In fact, to our delight and surprise, the building became almost too warm in late April, early May, and we were able to shut the pellet boiler down completely, and we don't envisage starting it again until late September, October. So as I say, the burn increases as the load to heat the building increases with the outside temperature. At full use, it is probably about 60 kilograms of pellets per day, and you can multiply that up. We get them either in 15 kilogram bags, which is obviously a lot more expensive than getting them in tote bags, which come either as 650 kilograms or 1 ton. Then of course you need a loader to take them off the lorry and to deposit them in the pellet hopper here. Ideally, we would blow them in, but at the moment the hopper isn't large enough, and local or Scottish suppliers will not blow them in small enough quantities to make it a viable option for us. The pellet boiler heats a large tank of hot water, and that's basically what its use in life is. It sits there and keeps that tank at a set temperature. The water can then be pumped and used in 4 different directions. The first, and far away the major one, is for underfloor heating throughout the building. The secondary use is for radiators in the 90-seater theatre, in that there you need to be able to increase and decrease the temperature very quickly, and underfloor heating, efficient as it is, cannot be just turned on and off at the flick of a switch. So we have radiators in there. The third use is in that same theatre. We have ventilation, necessary of course with 100 hot bodies, excited bodies. And in the middle of winter, when the cold air is pumped in to replace the hot air which is being extracted, first of all the cold air coming in is slightly warmed with a heat exchange with the hot air going out, but in midwinter that is not enough, so we have the facility to heat the air with hot water. And the fourth and final use is for hot water in the taps in the kitchen and in the toilets.